Let's bring in my national affairs editor at the Daily Telegraph, Sky News host James Morrow, and Sky News senior reporter Carolyn Marcus. My panel, I think I called you my editor there, but you're not, of course, James Morrow. These Albanese lies, I went through the detail there. The latest is obviously this Freedom of Information investigation by The Australian. He was out there saying the fund was operational in January, going pretty hard after the opposition for claims they said, look, it's not all you say it is, it's not up and running. He said, yes, it is. FOIs out today show it was not. It's less about the ins and outs so much of this as a pattern of behaviour, and I think there's a real character flaw in this Prime Minister. It is a Prime Minister without character, but I think it's a government now that is in the sort of whatever it takes category, whatever it takes to win and whatever it takes to stay there.
Yeah, look, I think, Peter, you've hit on something really important here. What you just said there was a government without character, but there's another word for that. It's a government, I think, without ideas. You know, they had one big idea, the voice, which Albanese punted on in his acceptance speech, and then they ran with that, and that didn't work. And ever since then, they've kind of been left not knowing really what they stood for, except for, as you say, this sort of whatever it takes attitude. And there's an interesting corollary to this, too. Have you noticed, Peter, how in Question Time, every single time they're attacked now, you know, they're very quick and very glib with the response. Well, Peter Dutton, you said this back then, or Paul Fletcher, you said that back then. You know, all of these sorts of just turning it around. And this is something that's been happening, I think, since The Voice, when they made a concerted effort to, you know, have their attack lines on the ready, but they didn't do the important thing after that, which was to figure out what their philosophical ballast was, what their keel was going forward, where they were going. And as a result, now we're in this situation where they're kind of rudderless, very just lashing out at everybody. But again, we don't know where they're going, and these lies keep stacking up.
I have to say, being in government too, the announcement's the easy part. It's actually getting it to happen, you know, following up with departments, getting all the procedures ticked off and getting it launched. And that's, I think, where they're falling down.